Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
It's time for you to meet Dr. Jason Alviene again. He's the doctor of chiropractic, and we have been having such a wonderful conversation with him each week. And so welcome. Thank you for calling in this morning. Usually you come in, but you're in Naples, right?
Yes, I am. I'm taking my continuing education so I can renew my license.
Oh, well, those are the mundane things. Let's talk about the exciting stuff. So you have something exciting to tell everybody.
Yes, I came up along an opportunity to be able to start my own practice, and I've done that. So starting end of next week, I'll be seeing patients at a new office.
And it's called the Center for Authentic Living. What a great name, yes. Center for Authentic Living in Delray Beach.
Yes. So this is a practice that I'm joining for possibly a temporary purpose with my new company. The Center for Authentic Living does counseling, meditation, and acupuncture. So I'll be adding to their services by bringing in chiropractic.
And your name is going to be Profusion Chiropractic, right?
That's correct.
Oh, what does the word profusion really mean?
So when I was, this was a couple of years ago when I was deciding on what I would want my office name to be, I was kept coming along the word abundance. And when I was looking up words, profusion just means abundance. And since I want to be able to help people be able to function fully with whatever it is they want to do, I thought profusion and abundance, all that kind of went together.
Yeah, it does. And it's very medically sounding, profusion. Ah, yes. It's a good, I like it. It's good. So anyway,
good.
So you're now going to school, not to school, but I know when you have to, just like I'm a real estate broker and I have to go in, I guess every 2 years you have to go and get your license renewed. So that's what you're doing, huh?
Yes. So every 2 years we have to complete 40 hours of continuing ed. So I'm doing 20 hours this weekend. It's my last 20, and at the beginning of 2020, the first quarter, we'll be renewing our license. All chiropractors in the state will have to renew their license during the first quarter.
Well, so Dr. Alviene, let me just say that when I take these courses, it's amazing how much you learn. Even though you've been doing something for a while, even if you learn 2 or 3 things, it's really worth it, isn't it? These courses have great benefit.
Oh, they do. And on top of that, the convention that I'm at also has an expo. So it's always good to see what's new as far as technology that companies are bringing out to possibly bring into the office to help.
Is there something that you can tell us that you think is new in the fields of chiropractic? Or actually, you do a lot more than chiropractic. You come from the background, of course, starting out as a massage therapist and then moving into sports medicine. What is it that you'd like to share this morning that people might not know about? Let me just give you an example. I'm going to tell you one thing. I went to the grocery store and I saw the most beautiful radishes. And I would buy radishes. They're all growing still in their little green leaves, and they're red and beautiful. So I said, I'm going to put in my salads. And when I got home, I said, I'm going to check them out and see, is there really nutrition in radishes? Oh, my goodness. Do you know how healthy radishes are for you? You bet you don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you do know. You're so smart.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Radishes, you eat them raw, you get a lot of benefits from them.
Okay, so now I just told you something. Now you tell us something.
Well, one of the things that I continue to learn when I come here are supplement companies that I meet with. There's definitely a big market out there as far as over-the-counter supplements that you can get from a GNC or a CVS. But what I learn when I meet with some of these distributors that will only distribute to doctors is that their process of going through making the supplement is they try to make sure that it doesn't get contaminated as much as possible. And the supplements that I usually can get to patients, they may be a little more expensive, but at least I know that what they're getting is actually going to be helpful for them versus what you get over the counter at, say, like I said, a GNC. It might not be quite as good a product, and you actually might not even be able to digest some of those ones that are at the Walmarts and things like that. So at least I know when I purchase a supplement to give to a patient, it's going to have the nutrients in it, and the body's going to be able to use it.
Good point, and I totally agree with you. I know about that, and I do try to buy supplements from physicians, and I'll have to buy them from you in the future.
Well, great. Then I know you'll be getting a good supplement, and it'll actually be your body will be using it.
So let's talk about supplements. Actually, I take vitamin. Well, I know I take the D. I think I take 5,000 of the D. What is it? 3. It's when you don't have. It replaces sunlight. It's called.
Yeah, when you're taking the vitamin D.
Yeah.
For when you're not out in the sun. Yes.
Yeah. So I do. I take. I was always told that everyone's deficient in that, so I've been taking 5,000 a day of that. I hope that's
okay.
And then there's some other things, that are very important that I take too. So it's years ago, though. I've been doing this longer than you're probably even old, but I remember when I even went to a very, very upstanding cardiologist years and years ago. And I started because I was very interested in vitamins and all, and I was taking vitamin E, and he's, no, you don't have to do that. That's all silly. All these vitamins, blah, 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 blah. And, of course, he was so wrong. I mean, now we know that they're very important.
Oh, yes. And different vitamins at different times. Certain vitamins like your fish oils and multivitamins are ones that you want to do on a regular basis. But there's other ones out there, like if you were to take a vitamin that has bromelain in it, you might only want to do that when you're having body pain. So you could use certain ones more as I take them as needed versus I need to take this supplement all the time.
Now, bromelain, don't I get that when I eat pineapple?
You do. But some people don't eat those type of foods. So if they could have a supplement and they're getting an ache, they could just take the supplement instead.
Well, let me tell you, I have something else to tell you this morning. When I was out in Sedona, we went to a very nice little cafe, and for the first time I had pineapple water. It was water with wonderful pineapple in it. So I came back here, I buy pineapple, and I put it in the blender, and I have pineapple, my fresh pineapple juice.
Oh, that's probably one of the best ways you could do it then.
Right.
So you wouldn't. So if you're going to be taking that, you won't even need to take the supplement.
Right.
See, if you're doing the right foods, it lessens the amount of supplements you need.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and I think when someone comes in to visit you there with your Profusion Chiropractic, you maybe, I don't know if you do this, but talking about the health drinks and the health foods probably as important as sometimes adjusting people, isn't it?
Yes. So when I do the adjustment in the office, it's done there, and then the body will adapt to it over the next few days or a few weeks before I see them again. But in the meantime, they're not in the office. So anything else that can help them heal quicker, the nutrition, exercise, sleep, mindset, all these other type of things outside of what they do in the office are very beneficial to getting somebody back on their feet faster.
And I think that that's what physicians such as yourself you should do. I mean, just going in and I know you don't do this, but even if you're pressed for time, people need more than just 1, 2, 3. I know, and chiropractors are hands-on, which a lot of doctors aren't, but that's one good thing. But I always think that a chiropractor needs to, because I know that you especially, you're into nutrition and exercise, and you need to give people that little extra stuff. Then they leave, and mentally I think they're better off, aren't they?
Well, yes, and to me, it's not just, like you said, that it's not just extra stuff. If you give that to somebody and then they choose to take it and do it, happen faster.
What's happening?
Hello?
Yeah. Did we lose you?
Oh, no, I thought there might have been a pause there for a moment. I'm still here.
Okay. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's true. I think it makes a better relationship between patient and doctor that you know more about them, because, there are a lot of people, and this is really serious, that they don't know that some of the supplements are really not good. It works against certain pharmaceutical medications they're taking. For instance, I was told that, I forget what it was, that if I take some blood pressure medication, and I shouldn't have certain kinds of supplements. So, and I'm sure you know about what's right and what's wrong, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So like an example, if somebody was on a blood thinner medication, vitamin E might not be the best thing for them to do on a regular basis. It's also a blood thinner. So adding a blood thinner with a supplement blood thinner can make things worse as far as when there is a bruise or anything where they just keep bleeding and they don't heal as quickly.
Ah, that's a good example. Well, let me tell everybody again, my guest is Dr. Jason Alviene, and he's a chiropractor, and he is just now moved from where he was, and he's now a new name called Profusion Chiropractic. He's located at the Center for Authentic Living in Delray Beach. And let me give you a phone number. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio, so you want to write the number down. He's really a very special person, and when you meet him, you'll know that. He's been on Facebook. We've been doing Facebook Live every time he comes into the show. This morning he's calling in from Naples, but his number is 561-504-6344. Again, 561-504-6344. So when it comes time, moving is a big pain in the neck, as you can imagine, but I'm sure you don't have a little black bag, because MDs have little black bags they take around, but chiropractors have to have lots of equipment and beds, in the sense, and whatever you have to be able to stretch people.
Oh, yes. I got to have the table, at least one, because I can only see one at a time. But you got to have a few tables when you have some other types of therapies that they might do that they get to lay there for a little bit while I work on somebody else. So, yeah, got to have the tables and the equipment.
Right. And what other things, let's say, and you're not that old, but you've certainly been around for a while with this, what new cutting-edge treatments have chiropractors found from, let's say, 50 years ago? The history.
I think the biggest things that are coming out is all the electronic technology that's being able to go out there. The two different ones that come to mind that's a big thing out there is the laser and the Shockwave. I won't have them in my office right away as I'm transitioning, but those are therapies that I've seen help immensely with people getting back to themselves quicker. Laser's good at healing real areas, and the Shockwave is great at breaking up muscles that get stuck together. So my typical runners with plantar fasciitis, the Shockwave is a great tool to get them back to running quickly.
What does a Shockwave equipment look like?
So it's the unit that runs everything. It's a box the size of a rotary phone, the old rotary phones that we used to have, so it's not that big. A small microwave maybe. And then it has a transducer unit, the handle that actually goes on the patient. And the end that goes on, it's only about the size of a coaster, a small coaster that you might put a drink on, and then the actual end that touches, it gets down to almost a point. Well, you put that on the tissue, and it's going to deliver an electrical impulse into the muscle, which creates a reaction in the muscle to first contract and then relax very quickly. And then it adds an impulse percussion into the muscle, which causes the adhesions between the muscles to break up. So as you go through this, you feel like almost like a little shock going through there, and a massage at the same time.
Wow. That's interesting. It's called the Shockwave?
Yes.
My goodness.
Yes.
That is, and it makes me think back years ago. I don't think I had them used on me, but they were these TENS units. What was the difference in the TENS unit? What did that do compared to what you just talked about with the Shockwave?
All right. Well, TENS units are still out there. So the TENS unit, if you remember, they are pads that go on the skin that just lay over top, and then when you turn them on, the pads communicate each other to create an electrical impulse that goes through the muscle. So where the Shockwave has an electrical impulse similar to the TENS unit, the TENS unit just adds the electrical impulse through the muscle. And by doing that, it causes the muscle to relax with the electrical impulse, hopefully reducing some of the pain. But it doesn't get rid of the adhesions that may have happened between the muscles. So
you and others still use a TENS unit for various conditions?
Oh, yeah. TENS units are great for the patients to be able to even purchase and take home and use on their own. So in the office, we have a machine that's a little higher than a TENS unit, known as inferential. So the electrical current will actually be higher than what you can achieve on a TENS unit. But those are the ones that you only want to do within the presence of somebody that knows what they're doing as far as operating the machinery, so you don't hurt yourself.
And that was quite a discovery, wasn't it, many years ago? Because I think that's what chiropractors were able to use. I don't know, how long was it? 50 years? Am I wrong about?
Oh, somewhere,
longer?
It was back in probably, I think, the 50s, 60s is when it really started getting used. But once chiropractors realized, if we put this on the tissue and it relaxes the muscle, it makes it easier to do the adjustment on the patient because you don't have the muscles in the body fighting back.
Wow. Yeah, that was quite a discovery. Wish you had discovered it, right?
Well, we never know. Maybe I'll find something new.
I'm sure you will. You're right up there. I'm sure that's it. Well, this is very good. So let me just tell everybody again, you're listening to Dr. Jason Alviene, Alviene, and he is a chiropractor who practices a lot of other things too. He comes with lots of experience, and he's just formed his new company called Profusion Chiropractic, and he's located at the Center for Authentic Living in Delray Beach. And I'm going to give you his phone number again. So if you're looking for someone who really cares a great deal and wants to help you, call him at 561-504-6344. Again, 504-6344. I know you specialize in sports medicine, because you really like that and that's what you've been doing. Do people who are athletes require different kinds of treatments than a typical person?
In all actuality, no. They don't require a different treatment. It's the frequency that you'll see happen with athletes that might have to increase. So when somebody's doing an exercise or work that's going to be more taxing on the body, they may get seen more frequently, even during times where they're feeling great, and that's just to make sure that they can catch anything before it causes them an issue in their sport of choice. I would still recommend that for somebody that is not an athlete, but we know how things go. If you're feeling fine, sometimes people just leave things alone.
And as a chiropractor, and I know enough about you that you probably would say it's important, but do you not feel meditation is also part of a treatment?
Love meditation, and that's one of the great things about being at the Center for Authentic Living is they do meditation classes there. So I'm going to be able to start bringing that in as well with my patients, and at the same time, one of the things that I'm writing about in the book has a lot to do with mindset and the way you think. So, yes, 100% that if somebody's not thinking well or not meditating like they should, you're going to see results not quite as good if those things are cut out.
That's great, and I'm sure they do yoga. What do they do there at the center besides the meditation? They yoga. And...
So they have counseling. They do counseling, meditation, acupuncture, and now we're going to be doing chiropractic along with that.
Beautiful. Oh, so nice that you were able to hook up there. That's excellent. Okay, so let's continue along the line that what we've been talking about. You know, last time we talked about the book that you wrote because you were trying to figure out how to write a book. And I think that's
yes.
That's so interesting. Talk about that book, because I certainly would like to. Next time I see you, I'd love a copy of that.
Sure. I will definitely get that. So it was a book/manual back in 2016, right around this time. So I'd say exactly 3 years ago. I knew I had this idea for the book that I'm currently working on, but I didn't understand the whole book writing process. So I said, well, let me put together a manual on how to go from beginning to end and how to publish a book and some of the techniques that I had to use in order to be able to actually finish a book. So it was a 33-page manual. It gives you the step process on what you need to have to be able to follow through, and then some rules to follow to make sure that you get everything completed and not fall off the track. And it was fun. I went through self-publishing and put it up on Amazon. So it was just a great process. It took me about a month. And now that I'm working through my next book, it seems that I should have everything finally written out by beginning of December, and then it's just going to have to go through the editing process and publishing at that point.
And tell us again what the first book you wrote is called. How to Write a Book? I forget what you called it.
I named it because I was trying to come up with a structure, so I named it The Structuralist, 6 Steps to Writing a Book. The Structuralist, 6 Steps to Writing a Book.
That's so clever. Okay, and now I know your next book. We have the word pull in there.
Yes, discover your pull. Yes.
Discover your pull. Right. I just wrote that down again. Yeah, that's you're very clever, very creative, and and people always like to know about people's families. You have, you're young, but you have 3 children, and they're not so.
Yeah.
Well, you have one very young one, and then you have an older one, and another one.
Yes. So I have 3 daughters. The oldest, Emma, is going to be 16 next month. Then there's Lydia, who will be 15 in January. And then the youngest is Natalie, who just turned 8 a couple months ago. And that's it, 3 daughters.
Well, that's a big deal. Well, that's cute. It's nice to have little kids. And that brings up another subject. Do you ever have people bring in their children for chiropractic?
Oh, sure, yes. They don't. So if you get adjusted as an adult, a child does not get adjusted the same way because their bone structures are different. So if you're worried about a child being adjusted like an adult, that does not happen. So the younger they are, the more different the adjustments come in. But yes, definitely. I mean, from the time a child is born, their head to come out of the canal is used as kind of like a battering ram, and it's very common for one of those new vertebrae to shift a little bit. And I've seen babies that could only breastfeed from one side because they couldn't turn their head the other way. And after an adjustment or 2, they're able to turn their head very quickly because they're so young and haven't really developed any adhesions or scar tissue or anything yet. So adjustments on kids happen fast.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. And I'm just thinking so it's strange, but maybe there needs to be when a baby is born, you need to see a chiropractor, someone like you, that you can make sure that everything's aligned.
Oh, I would definitely recommend it. And I mean, I've seen newborn babies that we've checked it out, and they didn't need an adjustment. It definitely happens, but the ones that do, if you can get there right away and just give it a little shift back to its normal position, they usually flourish a lot quicker.
Well, now that kids are in sports in such early ages, I'll bet that a person like you, especially a massage therapist and a chiropractor, could really help them because they've got, strong bones and little bodies, but they can really abuse them.
Oh, yeah. Working on children, it's really preventative for when they're an adult. So, I mean, if we wait till you're an adult and you have the aches and pains or the issues or you're not able to function with something and you start working on it then, it always takes a little bit longer to get it back to its normal status or as close to normal as possible. If you're working on it from when they're a child, they've already been worked on. Things are going to stay longer. They're going to stay healthy longer, stay young a lot longer. Body will heal quicker. So we're usually in a mindset where we don't get things checked until there's a problem. If you start checking before there's a problem, you usually don't have to deal with one.
That's good advice. I was also thinking, though, when people get massages, because I know you're an expert at that, a lot of things can be worked out there before they get serious, too, can't they?
Oh, sure. Massage is wonderful because, again, like we had spoken about before with the Shockwave with breaking up adhesions, massage can also do the same thing. It might take a person to do it outside of a machine, but the human touch and the conversation that you can have with a massage therapist along those lines also adds in that meditation and counseling aspect, as well as getting the massage and getting the tissues healed. Yeah.
A lot of people think that those are luxury items, and they really aren't. I know that I used to have it every 2 weeks, but now I'm at once a month, and I look forward to that tremendously. The only thing is that I know that right after my massage that I'm told I should get into a hot bathtub, but I'm always too busy to do that. I mean, what is but after you have a massage, because I know you're an expert, what should you do? Should you just go to sleep, or can you get up and just start working?
Well, it depends on the work that you do. But when you first get up from the massage, you don't want to jump right back into the stress that you were doing. You kind of just want to allow yourself to just enjoy the experience a little bit longer. You want to have kind of clear your head a little bit longer and not just, I get out of the massage, okay, right back to my life, because then you start undoing what you just did very quickly.
Well,
so drinking the water, relaxing, or even trying to have the massage towards the end of the day is always better.
Okay. So, Dr. Alviene, we did it again, and we'll see you here next week.